कृष्ण श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेषा शून्यवादी देशात्मने जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 राम राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे राम हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे जय धर्म जय 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 गिरिवर जय जन जय गिरिवराधारी जय गिरिवराधारी यशोदन नंदन यशोदन नंदन जय कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jai Ram. Shama Sundar Jai Ram.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ సౌండ్ కొంచెం తక్కువ ఉన్నది.
Srila Prabhupada. Is my audio audible? Prabhuji sir Mataji? Is it good?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji. Now it is
Prabhuji.
audible.
Yes.
Now we can hear you.
Okay, before not with the Mridanga.
Before we missed all the kirtan sound, everything.
Hare Krishna. That was a good kid.
Yeah.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kananam Adanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Srimata Padakamalam Shri Guru Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahajanam Lalita Shri Vishakanitam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutanu Pranamami Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Rupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namastutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Namah Pankajanabhaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namah Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namah Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lokam karoti vachalam pangam langayate. Yat krupa tamam vande Shri Gurum Dinatalam. Paramanandamaadavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Om pavitro pavitro va sarvavastagatopi va. Yat smare kundare kanksha sabahya suchihi. Om Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. You can please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Let me share my screen. It says that's number 3. Hare Krishna. Hope you are all able to see the right screen.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, dear Prabhuji and Matajis. Thank you so much for joining, bestowing mercy. There is nothing like devotee association. And it is also a little bit of fear and embarrassment to speak in front of so many wonderful revered Vaishnavas in the group. But nevertheless, as a blessing order from all of you and Gurudev, I would like to attempt to speak something. Nevertheless, I need the blessings from your lotus feet so that the right word comes at the right time. So please try to make it as interactive as it can. If you can open your camera, there is nothing like it. That will be amazing. But yes, please accept my Sashtanga pranams. First of all, I would like to offer my Sashtanga pranams to their lordships, Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani and Radha Madhava, Panchatattva, Sri Nityananda Ram, in front of his, Avirbhava, Dinotsava. And then I offer my Sashtanga pranams to Srila Prabhupada and my Gurudev, His Holiness Kadambakananda Swami Maharaja, who has departed to the spiritual world. And then I would like to offer my Sashtanga pranams to each one of your lotus feet. Hare Krishna. It is so astonishing that today is Lord Narasimha is going to appear. So may Lord Narasimha also appear in all of our hearts, and kill all the demoniac qualities that are there, so strongly installed for many Janmantaras. Right? So Lord Narasimha is going to appear. A little bit of pretext to what we are reading. We are in the science of God, and for many of the acharyas, Canto 7 is also like so madhurya, so much love because Prahlad Maharaj is there, right? And we have started with a Narada Muni's question. It starts with it starts with Parikshit Maharaja's question, like how it looks like, in the cases of Samudra Manthan or various occasions, that the Lord looks like he is partial to the Devatas and impartial to Asuras. How is that? And then that is wonderfully answered by Shukadeva Goswami. Then we also read Hiranyakashipu, king of demons, how he has gone to the disturbed by his brother's death, and then wanted to become so strong. Then in chapter 3, he leaving his pregnant wife Kayadu behind to, Mandarachala Parvat to do the great tapasya. And we have read there how he has done the Gora tapasya. He was standing on the thumb of the left hand and put both of his heads top, and then he was praying to Lord Brahma. It was so astonishing to see that not even his skin was left. It was eaten by, worms and ants there. So the life air was only in the bone. Srila Prabhupada amazingly explains. So for a tapasvi, it is possible to meditate on the Lord even without the body, right? Even without a heart, even without anything like that. And then as soon as a demon becomes very powerful, what he does, naturally he terrorizes the universe. And then Prahlad Maharaj, the saintly son of Hiranyakashipu in chapter 5, comes back from, this Chanda and Amarkas, Gurukula. And then when he asks, all this Madhurya he tells to his father. Mandara makaranda madhurya munade madhupambulo pune madanamulaku. Like that he sings nice poems and tells, uh, the Hari, name of Hari is the shelter of everyone. And then I have learned all these things, he tells to his father. That was the very first thing. And one of the greatest happiness that gives to any father is, to touch son's head and smell son's head. And Hiranyakashipu is certainly is very fond of Prahlada Maharaj when he was very young. But as soon as he starts the glory of the enemy, he becomes not so happy. And then it comes to a situation that, Prahlad, Hiranyakashipu thinks like this boy is like a cancer. When cancer happens to one of the fingers or some body part, it must be removed. And this is not actually, this Prahlad is not Kula Deepaka but Kula Nashaka. He came here as a friend, but he is actually an enemy. Then he orders to kill Prahlad Maharaj. Then various means are applied to kill Prahlad Maharaj. Uh, but then, Hare Krishna, Anumataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes. Uh, various means applied. He was given Kalakuta Visha by his own mother Kayadu. He was thrown out of the valley. He was put to the elephants, but the Lord has saved him all the times. Right. Then chapter 6 was also so amazing. We read like 2-3 weeks ago that Prahlad Maharaja teaching the demon kids. And astonishingly, apparently, there is no demon kid who has rejected the knowledge. So it looks like the demon life is a demon life even in Kali Yuga, only because of there is no devotee association. As soon as the devotee arrives and starts to preach, all the demon kids accepted Krishna consciousness. And as we can see in Telugu, maybe Bhakti Prahlada, they all actually dance and sing in trance. Narayana Bhajanam Sriman Narayana Mantram, this right. And they all sing and dance. Nada Hare Jagannatha Hare, Nada Hare Jagannatha Hare, Nada Hare Jagannatha Hare, and then they last in that thing. So also that reminds us of a great responsibility of, no demoniac nature person is actually probably not hesitant to hear to Krishna Katha. Then whose responsibility is it to take Krishna Katha to them? Like Prahlad Maharaj has taken to Shanda Marga Gurukula, probably it's each one of us, right? Then we continued how the Vrittanta of how Kayadu was, abducted by Devatas. And then Narada Muni warned them, and he took Kayadu to his ashrama and started telling Bhagavat Katha. Then mother fall asleep, but the baby in the womb, the infant in the womb, was listening. He answers to the Katha, and then Narada Muni becomes so happy and teaches like that. And then we are in chapter 8. Yesterday, His Grace Dasaraj Prabhu has given amazing lecture on the first 16 verses, a little pretext to that, Narada Muni continued. Narada Muni is telling this to Yudhishthir Maharaj, right? All the sons of demons appreciated the transcendental instructions of Prahlada Maharaj and took them very seriously. They rejected the material instructions given by the teachers, Chanda and Amarga. That is the power of preaching, when Prahlad Maharaj has taught them all these things, don't waste your time in playing and material things. They rejected everything that was taught by Chanda and Amarga. They have taken shelter at Prahlad Maharaj, right? So when a right devotee preaches, the demons become human beings. When Lilananda Prabhuji preached, a demon called Ravi Talveda became Raghunandan Dasa, like that. Then like that, it was a furious discussion between Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu. It came to a situation Hiranyakashipu could not take anymore. That I tried all the things, but nothing happened to this boy. Just with my anger, the Palakas and all the Lokas tremble. But who is this boy? He is impudent, that he appears fearless and overstep even my rule. Prahlad, I am your king and you are under me. And I have every right, to make you obey what I say. But Prahlad Maharaj refuses to all of that. And then Hiranyakashipu becomes so fierce and he becomes mad in shouting. And then with his fist, we see this Ugra Stamba, right? So big, it takes us like hours to climb up to there. The pillar was also that big. Then with his fist, he just hits that pillar and it almost breaks that thing. Then he asks, is your Lord there? Is your Lord here? Is your Lord in this pillar? Then Prahlad Maharaj again sings one beautiful padyam from, Potana. Writes it like this in Potana Bhagavatam. ఇందుగలడందులేడని సందేహమోవలదు చక్రి సర్వోగంతుడు ఎందెందు వెతికి చూచిన అందందే గలడు దానవాగ్రిని వింటేదన్. There is no place where there is no Lord. ఇందుగలడందులేడని సందేహమోవలదు. You have no doubt. My Lord is everywhere. So if even a demon wants to hear him, he is always speaking to him. Then oh, is that so? Then is he also in this pillar? It goes like that. And then Prahlad Maharaj replies, he is certainly in this pillar also. Like that, while showing his extraordinary prowess, Hiranyakashipu, who desired to kill his own son, heard that wonderful tumultuous sound, which had never before been heard. Upon hearing the sound, the other leaders of the demons were afraid. None of them could find the origin of that sound in the assembly. Nobody knew. Nobody knew what was happening. The big sound, the tumultuous sound has come. Oh Lord, Narsingadeva is appearing. So may Lord Narsingadeva also appear in our hearts to kill, all the demoniac enemies within our heart. I think it's so far are coming in next verses that Prahlad Maharaj explains his father, my dear father. For an intelligent person, there is no friend or enemy. Prahlad Maharaj also rejected all the subjects and politics, especially subjects like politics, Dandaniti, by Shanda and Amarka, because it encourages you to see one as friend and another as enemy. So he was not interested. And he was teaching his father the same thing. My dear father, only the ignorant man sees someone as friend and another as enemy. But an intelligent man sees everyone as son or daughter of the Lord. Like that he teaches his father. So leave your enmity, and only one enemy of human being is the Harishad Vargas, the 6 enemies in the heart. And also he tells one more thing, I forgot. 6 enemies and his own mind. It's only your mind that is your enemy and nothing else. That concords your mind, and makes you feel someone as enemy. And let us proceed reading from today. I will read the first verse and then we all share. We have 15 verses to cover. Let's go ahead. Anybody wants to add any words before we start? Please make it as interactive as it can, so that I will read a verse for one time. You decide if you want to read or not in your turn. There is an advanced view, I think, so that we can be only in one page. Yes. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Satyam vidatum nijavritya bhasitam vyaptim cha bhuteshva akileshu chatmanaha. Adarsha tatyadbhutarupamudvam stambe sabhayam namragam namanusham. Translation: to prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial. In other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. The form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus the Lord appeared in his wonderful form in the assembly hall. Sometimes we need to push the scene, we need to enable the scene in our minds so that Krishna is, more apparent, more present with us. So let us, try to create the scene in our mind. Let us all go to Ahobilam, to the mandapa of Hiranyakashipu, where the big hall is there, and all the demon ministers are sitting there, and Prahlad Maharaj near his father challenging, and then this today is actually going to be the action scene. So we have to, create this scene in our minds. Anybody wants to read purport, please? Then we discuss a bit.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, shall I read?
Yes, Madhavi Mataji, please go ahead.
Then Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlada Maharaja, where is your Lord? Is he present in this pillar? Prahlada Maharaja fearlessly replied, yes, my Lord is present everywhere. Therefore, to convince Hiranyakashipu that the statement of Prahlada Maharaja was unmistakably true, the Lord appeared from the pillar. The Lord appeared as offline and offline, so that Hiranyakashipu couldn't understand whether the great giant was a lion or a human being. To substantiate Prahlada's statement, the Lord proved that his devotee, as declared in Bhagavad Gita, is never vanquished. Kaunteya pratijaniah me bhakta pranasyati. Prahlada Maharaja's demonic father had repeatedly threatened to kill Prahlada, but Prahlada was content that he couldn't be killed, since he was protected by Supreme Lord. By appearing from the pillar, the Lord encouraged his devotee, saying in effect, don't worry, I am present here. By manifesting this form as Nrsimhadeva, the Lord also preserved the truth of Lord Brahma's promise that Hiranyakashipu wasn't to be killed by any animal or any man. The Lord appeared in a form that couldn't be said to be fully a man or a lion. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, right? When Hiranyakashipu challenged that, where is your Lord? Show me, is he here? Is he there? Is he in this pillar? And then the Lord fulfilled his devotees' words, and came out of this stamba, Udra stamba. The demons so astonishingly, Hiranyakashipu could not realize, what is saving him. He tried Kalakuta Visha, and he tried the elephants, the small, tender skinned boy. He was not killed, so he could not still understand that, the Lord is protecting and is so powerful. Hiranyakashipu could, defeat Indra, and Indra was trembling in fear to see even Hiranyakashipu. Indra is so powerful man, right? But still he could not understand. So such is the case in our lives, We also go through many things, but sometimes it's so tough to, get rid of anarthas. But here is a proof the Lord is watching. The Lord is there to protect devotees. So that is also a lesson and a warning for us to be especially careful with devotees. If someone does something bad to Lord, maybe he accepts it. But when someone does aparadha to Vaishnava, the Lord doesn't accept, is an example from here. Also, he makes one wonderful comment here. Bhagavad Gita 9.31, I think that one. Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. The Lord is promising here. Kaunteya pratijanati. Oh, Kaunteya, declare very boldly. My devotee never perishes. Right? There is no end to a devotee. That is so glorious. Yes. Who wants to take next, please? Kindly volunteer. Text 18. You can skip shloka if you want to. Yes, certainly.
Pranam.
Pranam, Prabhuji.
Translation, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Translation by Divanga Shesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. While Hiranyakashipu looked all around to find the source of the sound, the wonderful form of the Lord, which could not be ascertained to be either a man or a lion, emerged from the pillar. It is in amazement. Hiranyakashipu wondered, "What is this creature that is half man and half lion?" Purport: a demon cannot calculate the unlimited potency of the Supreme Lord, as stated in the Vedas, Puranas, uh, Sa- Sak- Saktir, Shaktir, Vividhaiva Shruyate, Swabhaviki, Gnana Bala Kriya Cha. The different potencies of the Lord are always working as an automatic exhibition of his knowledge. For a demon, it is certainly wonderful that the form of a lion and the form of a man can be united. Since a demon has no experience of the inconceivable power of which the Supreme Lord is called all powerful, demon cannot understand the omnipotency of the Lord. They simply compare the Lord to one of them. Avya, Janati Mam Mudha Manushim Tanu Masritam. Mudas, rascals, think that Krishna is an ordinary human being who appears for the benefit of other human beings. Param Bhavam Ajananta. Fools, rascals, and demons cannot realize the supreme potency of the Lord. But Cruel rascals cannot possess his will, but he can do anything and everything. Indeed, he can do whatever he likes. When Hiranyakashipu received benediction from the Lord Brahma, he thought that he was safe. Since he received the benediction that he would not be killed either by an animal or a human being, he never thought that an animal and a human being would be combined so that demons like him would be puzzled by such a form. This is the meaning of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, omnipotence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Would you like to share any words, Prabhuji?
Amazing, but just by reading itself is goosebumps are coming, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. This form was looks like never heard of in any of the Shastras, never seen. And Sadhu Maharaj, while going to Ahobilam, was explaining, this was so terrifying even to Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi 24/7 at the lotus feet of the Lord, but she never knew or had information of this form. Who is this person? Just Prabhuji, imagine, that something coming as half man or half lion. How would that be? That is like a mountain. So even the sound itself terrified all the devatas. It is said. It comes in the next verses.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, just one question. Is there anywhere mentioned or any reason why uh, Krishna took this particular form, like Narasimha, half man, half lion? Why not some other form?
It is because of the conditions put by Hiranyakashipu, Prabhuji. The
Yeah, but
Lord comes to an
why
extent
only lion face?
because Hiranyakashipu was such a villain.
Hmm.
When the villain is very strong in Balakrishna movie, what is the name of Balakrishna? Jai Simha, Narasimha Nayudu. There is nothing without Simha, right? So it is symbolizing that Simha is very powerful, na Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Hmm.
Prabhu.
Hiranyakashipu was very powerful. He was ruling over,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Narsimha has another form also, Prabhuji. In another yuga, he
Yes,
comes
Prabhuji.
in a
Ah,
cat form also. Marjala Lakshmi Narsimha Swami is also there.
Ah,
okay.
The cat form also.
yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. And that was because of the conditions, as we know, Prabhuji, as far as my knowledge is concerned. And then one of the things the Lord has done here is also, Prabhuji, one of the conditions was also not get killed in any of the 12 months. The Lord has created a special month for it. Adhika Masa. We do this, right? Purushottama Masa. We specially celebrate that Masa. So, it looks like that is the reason why he came like that. And he has created all the situations as per his desire. So sometimes we also design our death that I want to be dead like this. So Hiranyakashipu designed his death like that, you know. And one amazing line is put here: Avajananti mam muda manushim tanamashita. Muda rascals think that Krishna is ordinary human being who appears for the benefit of other human beings. So the demons always what they think that the Hari has come only to protect the devatas, not themselves. But there are also examples of demons or rakshasas who are on the side of the Lord and spend a very blissful life. Any examples you would like to share, Vaishnavas? The rakshasas being on the side of the Lord and receiving the blessing from the Lord. Any names comes to your mind?
Vibhishan.
Vibhishan is the first one obviously come to our mind.
Ghatotkach.
Ghatotkacha, Haribol. Ghatotkacha is amazing personality. Just by knowing his story, it is so astonishing and sweet. He knows that he will be dead in the Mahabharata war. He knows his power is limited. Nevertheless, it's okay, nothing doing. But it is also said that if Ghatotkacha was not there, contributing his thing, it would have been very tough for Pandavas. So, every devotee is important. And Ghatotkacha is very sweet character. Yes. Yes, Prabhuji and
Can I do
Mataji.
this, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please. We have.
If it is okay with you, I can do the shloka also.
Yes, please go ahead.
मीमांसमानस्य समुत्थितो ग्रतो नृसिंहरूपस्तदलं भयानकं प्रतप्तचामीकरचण्डलोचनं स्फुरत्शटाके शरज्जुम्बिताननम् करालदंश्रं करवालचञ्चल क्षुरान्तज्वां ज्वम्भ्रूकुटि मुखोल्बनम् स्तभोर्ध्वकर्णं गिरिकन्दराभुत स्तब्धोर्ध्वकर्णं गिरिकन्दराद्भुत व्यात्तास्य नाशं हनभेदभीषणम् दिवि स्पृशकायमदीर्घपीवरा ग्रीवोरुवक्ष स्थलमल्पमध्यमम् चन्द्रांशुगौरैश्चुरितं तनूरुहैर्विश्वभुजानीकसतं नखायुधम् दुरासदं सर्वनिजेतरायुधा विद्रावितदैत्यदानवम्. Sorry for my mistakes, Prabhuji. I thought it was like a prayer, so I thought it was necessary to read.
Yes.
Yeah. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hiranyakashipu studied the form of the Lord, trying to decide who the form of Nrsimhadeva standing before him was. The Lord's form was extremely fearsome because of his angry eyes, which resembled molten gold. His shining mane, which expanded the dimensions of his fearful face, his deadly teeth, and his razor-sharp tongue, which moved about like a dueling sword. His ears were erect and motionless, and his nostrils and gaping mouth appeared like caves of a mountain. His jaws parted fearfully, and his entire body touched the sky. His neck was very short and thick, his chest broad, his waist thin, and the hairs on his body as white as the rays of the moon. His arms, which resembled flanks of soldiers, spread in all directions as he killed the demons, rogues, and atheists with his conch shell, disc, club, lotus, and other natural weapons. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. There is no purport to this, Mataji. Mataji, you want to share anything from this amazing translation?
Yeah, I think the translation is describing very pictorially what is how did Narsimha Swami look, and in that way you can actually kind of relate to the form.
Yes, Mataji.
Otherwise, we will normally imagine a lion face and a man's body, but here the specifics are given, so it makes it better to pictorially imagine the form.
Yes, Mataji. Uh, you can imagine a villain who was terrifying, all the devatas, all the trilokas, all the sages, all the demons, all the kings in the world. He is standing here still to see that form. So we can see how big villain is the Lord, who is terrifying even uh, the most powerful person of that time. Even the temples had the murtis of Hiranyakashipu at that time. Even the priests were reading Om Hiranyaya Nama. It was not anymore Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya or Govinda Govinda. It was the situation, and the Lord was really fierce. It will be explained in the later classes that every devata, including Brahma, Lord Shiva, who himself is a Rudra and destroys all the worlds with his Tandava, right? Then even he did not dare to go and talk to Narasimhadeva. Lakshmi Devi, who is at the feet of the Lord all the time, did not dare to go to the Lord and speak to him after the death and everything is happened. Such was the form of the Narasimhadeva. Uh, but only one person was without fear and peaceful. And that is our Mahajana, Prahlada Maharaja, who is a role model to every devotee, right? That he was peaceful. Only after hearing Prahlad Maharaja could Narasimhadeva become cool, right? Or else they applied so much ganda to Narasimhadeva in Mayapura because he's so angry and his body is so hot. And when the Lord is hot, it's tough. So they put so much chandana on his body. Like that. Yes. Narasimhadeva story of Mayapura, installing in Mayapur is also so amazing. That's a Leela itself. But that time doesn't allow us here to talk about that. Let's proceed. Yes. Anybody want to volunteer, please? 23?
Can I, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, Savita Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. प्राणेयमेयं हरिणोरुमायिनावदः स्मृतो अनेन समुद्यतेन किम् एवं ब्रुवं त्वभ्यपातत् गदायुधो नदन्नृसिंहं प्रतिदैत्यकुञ्जरः. Translation: Hiranyakashipu murmured to himself, Lord Vishnu, who possesses great mystic powers, has made this plan to kill me, but what is the use of such an attempt? Who can fight with me? Thinking like this and taking up his club, Hiranyakashipu attacked the Lord like an elephant. But in the jungle, there are sometimes fights between lions and elephants. Here, the Lord appeared like a lion, and Hiranyakashipu, unafraid of the Lord, attacked him like an elephant. Generally, the elephant is defeated by the lion, and therefore the comparison in this verse is appropriate. Hare Krishna.
You want to share a few words, Mataji?
This only depicts the murta of Hiranyakashipu, his egoism, and like us all conditioned souls, sometimes we think ourselves to be so powerful, but uh, I think later on it will be established that only Lord, the personality of Supreme Personality of Godhead, He is the only one omnipotent.
Hari Hari
Hare
Baba.
Krishna.
Yes, the comparison is also very nicely made. Na? He jumped on the Lord with his club like an elephant. So fight between an elephant and lion. And the comparison is appropriate, Srila Prabhupada tells, right? And Savita Mataji was part of his Lilananda or Lilananda Prabhuji's satsang, and she is part of our Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's a devotee there whose presence gives so much pleasure to the heart. You know, whenever Mataji is around in the class or session, that gives immense pleasure to me. Thank you so much, Mataji. That's a devotee association. You know, there is nothing like it. I hope you all agree with me. We all have anarthas, we all have problems, we all are fighting with Maya. But I do not think when you are with right devotees, does our mind go here and there? Very tough, which proves, the life with devotees is the best. And then what is the thing to be done? Be with devotees as much as we can, make our life in such a way that we spend with devotees as much as we can, at least good part of the day. Yes, Satyadev Prabhuji, I saw you unmuted. You want to say something?
No, Prabhuji, no, Prabhuji. Amazing, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Devotees are the shelter. Devotees are the happiness. Devotees are everything, Prabhujis and Matajis. Probably we ourselves, it is tough to go to Krishna, probably. The Maya is very strong. The environment is completely polluted. But then the shelter is the devotee's feet. We just hold it tightly. Our Siksha Gurus, our peers, the ones who we preach, I think it is certain that Lord Narasimha will pick us up. Hare Krishna Giriraj Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for joining. You want to share any words, Prabhuji? Shri Giriraj Prabhuji, I think, joined from USA. Yes, so please, anyone volunteer? Text 24.
Can I, Prabhuji? Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
go ahead. Kamya Mataji. You want to read the verse or translation?
I would read the verse as well in translation.
Yes.
अलक्षितम्नं पतितः पताङ्गमं यथा नृसिंहौजसि सोऽसुरस्तदा नातद्विचित्रं खलौ सत्त्वधामने धामणे स्वतेजसा योऽनुपुरापि बत्तमः. Translation. Just as a small insect falls forcefully into a fire and the insignificant creature becomes invisible, when Hiranyakashipu attacked the Lord, who was full of effulgence, Hiranyakashipu became invisible. This is not at all astonishing, for the Lord is always situated in pure goodness. Formerly, during creation, he entered the dark universe and illuminated it by his spiritual effulgence. Purport. The Lord is situated transcendently in pure goodness. The material world is generally controlled by tamoguna, the quality of ignorance, but the spiritual world, because of the presence of the Lord and his effulgence, is free from all contamination by darkness, passion, or contaminated goodness. Although there is a tinge of goodness in this material world in terms of the Brahmanical qualifications, such qualifications sometimes become invisible because of the strong prevalence of the modes of passion and ignorance. But because the Lord is always transcendentally situated, the material modes of passion and ignorance cannot touch him. Whenever the Lord is present, there cannot be any darkness from the mode of ignorance. It is stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya, Krishna Surya Samamaya Haya Andhakara Yahan Krishna Tahan Nahi Mayara Adhikara. Godhead is light. Nescience is darkness. Where there is Godhead, there is no nescience. This material world is full of darkness and ignorance of spiritual life, but by Bhakti Yoga, this ignorance is dissipated. The Lord appeared because of the Bhakti Yoga exhibited by Prahlad Maharaja, and as soon as the Lord appeared, the influence of Hiranyakashipu's passion and ignorance was vanquished as the Lord's quality of pure goodness or the Brahman effulgence became prominent. In that prominent effulgence, Hiranyakashipu became invisible or his influence became insignificant. An example illustrating how the darkness of the material world is vanquished is given in the Shastra. When Brahma was created from the lotus stem growing from the abdomen of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Lord Brahma saw everything to be dark, but when he received knowledge from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything became clear, as everything becomes clear when one comes from night to sunshine. The important point is that as long as we are in the material modes of nature, we are always in darkness. This darkness cannot be dissipated without the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is invoked by the practice of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga creates a transcendental situation with no tinges of material contamination. Hare Krishna.
Very well. Srila Prabhupada's purports are savior. They save us. Yes, Mataji, you want to share any realizations, Mataji, from this nice verse and
Yeah,
translation?
Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
This actually on a shorter note describes that how Hiranyakashipu, despite his great power, he became invisible when he attacked Lord Narsimadev, just as a small insect disappears when it falls into fire. So this all happened because the Lord is always situated in pure goodness and radiates this spiritual effulgence.
Yes.
So Hiranyakashipu's destruction here symbolizes how ignorance is removed by the presence of the Lord.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yes. Anyone, what is your takeaway, especially from the last paragraph? There is an amazing thing here.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It's like true enlightenment comes only when through Bhakti Yoga, which brings us into the transcendental light of this pure goodness.
Yes, Mother. This is also giving us a great hope. Hiranyakashipu was killing the Brahmanas, killing the greatest of the sadhus, Vaishnavas. So, doing the greatest of the aparada, biggest of the Vaishnava aparadas he was doing, right? But when the Lord came, immediately his ignorance was killed. It tells, right? Somewhere it tells like that. When the presence of the Lord came, all the darkness from his life has gone. And even that person has become immediately, like good in a way. So there is a great hope. I don't think we can compete with Hiranyakashipu, no matter how much nonsense we want to do in our lives. So when the Lord comes, the hope is, the stakes of hope is very high. The stock price will go up. And there is a great chance that the Lord shows mercy on us. And the path to the Godhead is probably open if we just follow what Srila Prabhupada told. Did I write correct? Or? Yeah, the influence of Hiranyakashipu passion and ignorance was vanquished as the Lord's quality of pure goodness. So when the Lord is there, the influence of passion and ignorance, tamoguna and rajoguna, goes down. So the key is to invite the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare, pull the Lord with every mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then what is the symbolization or result the Lord gives us? That he is reciprocating, is that he is giving service, and take up the service and dissipate the ignorance and Rajo. Yes, please. Who is contributing next? Text 25.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Sapachandra. Please.
Next number 25. Should I read a sloka also?
Your wish, Prabhuji.
So I cannot. I will read a translation.
Yes, Prabhuji. Let's go with translation. Time is running out. Sunday Bhagavatam time is like this. It just runs out. We want to be there.
Thereafter, the great demon Hiranyakashipu who was extremely angry, swiftly attacked Narasimhadeva with his club and began to beat him. Lord Narasimhadeva, however, captured the great demon along with his club, just as Garuda might capture a great snake.
What do you think? The Lord likes it when Hiranyakashipu beats him or not?
Yes, Prabhu. It's very rasa internally.
Yes, the Lord really likes it. After all, who is Hiranyakashipu is Jaya and Vijaya, the eternal servants of the Lord at the Vaikunta, the gatekeepers of Vaikunta, right? And it is Lord's desire to fight with a great, powerful person. And one such devotee also desires to fight with Lord. Anyone? Which devotee desires to fight with Lord and fulfills?
Bhishma.
Bhishma is one. Yes, one more.
Jambavan.
Yeah, Harival, Jambavan. The Jambavan sees when the Lord fights in Krishna Lila, but he doesn't get a chance. Then, when is it, Mataji, when he fights with the Lord? In the cave, he fights, right? Does it come as a Muchkunda?
No, Prabhu. When Samantak Mani was stolen.
Right. He gives his daughter as
Yes.
Jambavati to the Lord at that time, right? At that time, Jambavan fights with the Lord. And then Krishna defeats him. Then Krishna, along with Shamantaka jewel, accepts Jambavati. Jambavati was the second wife, if I'm not mistaken. Rukmini is the eldest wife. Satyabhama was third, I think. I may be wrong. Yes, please. Who is going next with text 26?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam.
Harival. Thank you so much for association, Prabhuji. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Prabhu. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Yudhishthira, O great son of Bharata, when Lord Narasimhadeva gave Hiranyakashipu a chance to slip from his hand, just as Garuda sometimes plays with a snake and lets it slip from his mouth, the demigods who had lost their abodes, and who were hiding behind the clouds for fear of the demon, did not consider that incident very good. Indeed, they were perturbed. Purport. When Hiranyakashipu was in the process of being killed by Lord Narasimhadeva, process of being killed. Prabhupada, nice words here. Surgery process. The Lord gave the demon a chance to slip from his clutches. This incident was not very much appreciated by the demigods, for they were greatly afraid of Hiranyakashipu. They knew that if somehow or other Hiranyakashipu escaped from Narasimhadeva's hands and saw that the demigods were looking forward to his death with great pleasure, he would take great revenge upon them. Therefore, they were very much afraid. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, you want to share? Shed some light on the topic, Prabhuji, please.
Hiranyakashipu a chance to slip from his hand, just as Garuda sometimes plays with a snake and lets it slip from his mouth. The demigods who had lost their abodes, who were hiding behind the clouds for fear of the demon. So this demon, we all know, right? All the 14 planetary systems trembling, fear of this personality. Almost supreme personality got, except he didn't get that Amaratvam. He got the boon. He got the boon of you don't want to kill on the earth, in the water, on the sky. So we all know that one. So who were hiding behind the clouds for fear of the demon, who demigods did not consider that incident very good. Indeed, they were perturbed. Lord gave the demon a chance to slip from his clutches. This incident was not very much appreciated by the demigods. So what is this slipping? What is the slipping? First, when Hiranyakashipu was in the process of being killed by Lord Narasimha, the Lord gave the demon a chance. Lord అంత ఈజీగా పట్టి ఒకసారి ఈడ్చిపెడతాడు, ఒకసారి పడతాడు. ఫైనల్గా పట్టిండంటే ఇంకా వదిలిపెట్టాడు అనమాట. సో అట్లా ఒక సినారియో క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నాడు అనమాట కృష్ణ. దిస్ ఇన్సిడెంట్ వాజ్ నాట్ వెరీ మచ్ అప్రిషియేటెడ్ బై ద గారు. ఎప్పుడు చంపుతాడు ఈయన అని ఫీల్ అవుతున్నాడు అనమాట. ఫర్ దే వర్ గ్రేట్లీ అఫ్రేడ్ ఆఫ్ హిరణ్యకశిపు. దే న్యూ దట్ ఇఫ్ సమ్ హౌ ఆర్ అదర్ Hiranyakashipu escaped from the Narasimhadeva's hands and saw that the demigods were looking forward his death with great pleasure. But Krishna, Narasimhadev, Krishna in the form of Narasimhadev, uh, slipping, nice word, slip from his clutches.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, like you said, the Lord leaves and then catches him. But it was not like a Telugu movie action climax fight, you know. You know how long it went to? It went to almost 1 year now, Prabhuji, if I'm not mistaken, or more than 1 year. It was a 1 year fight, continuous fight. Hiranyakashipu and Narasimhadev was.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. In the process of here preparing for this lecture, I was also, hearing some reference lectures from various senior devotees. And then in one hand, nobody knows who this personality is at this point. You know, they probably all can guess, it was the Lord that came in that form. But it's just a guess. Nobody has 100% confirmation at this point of the time. And then they got a great hope, 50 run mein 70 run chahiye. And fifth and sixth batsman is playing very well. But he is almost looks like finishing the target. But then the wicket is down. The situation is like that. Tense. So the Devatas were feeling very happy that for the first time after many years, someone has come to challenge Hiranyakashipu. Before that, Hiranyakashipu used to throw the challenges like that to various Devatas. Then he was calling many times, even Lord Hari, he was challenging him also. And he was, actually using bad words to the Lord. You are a coward. You are hiding somewhere. If you have guts, come and fight with me. He called many times before that also. But nobody ever came. So the Devatas were like just in fear all the time. For the first time, they got hope that we will win the match. And then when the Lord slipped the Hiranyakashipu, it looks like they lost all their hope. They run from their abodes, their lokas, and then hiding behind the clouds is what we can take from this. Yes, text 27. Can someone kindly volunteer?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvadrana.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please go ahead.
Yeah, it's 27th shloka. Tammanyamano nijaviryaskritam yuddha samukto duharim mahasuraha punastamasajjata khadga charmani pragruhya vigem gatashramo mridhe. Yeah, translation. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Sorry for this. Yeah, when Hiranyakashipu was freed from the hands of Nrsimhadeva, he falsely thought that the Lord was afraid of his prowess. Therefore, after taking a little rest from the fight, he took up his sword and shield and again attacked the Lord with great force. Purport, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. When a sinful man enjoys material facilities, foolish people sometimes think, how is that this sinful man is enjoying whereas a pious man is suffering? By the will of Supreme, a sinful man is sometimes given the chance to enjoy the material world as he were not under the clutches of material nature, just so that he may be fooled. A sinful man who acts against the laws of nature must be punished, but sometimes he when given a chance to play exactly like Hiranyakashipu when he was released from the hands of Nrsimhadeva. Hiranyakashipu was destined to be ultimately killed by Nrsimhadeva, but just to see the fun, the Lord gave him a chance to slip from his hands. Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you.
Mata, you want to share any words? Shivali Mataji is an amazing devotee. She takes a Telugu Bhagavatam class every day. And sometimes when I work from home, I sit beside my wife and listen to her classes. And Mataji's knowledge is so amazing in Shastra. Thank you so much for spending time with devotees, Mataji. One
Prabhu,
verse
thank
comes to
you.
my mind when I speak about you is Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. They enjoy by doing the Katha of the Lord. And Mataji is very instrumental in taking the knowledge, especially to Telugu speaking housewife. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Yes,
Thank you
Mataji,
very much,
yes.
Prabhu. Yeah, Bodhayanta Parasparam, I want to listen from you, Prabhu. Yeah, please. Actually, I'm eagerly listening from. Yeah, please share some knowledge on. Hare Krishna. Thank you for the thing. All glories to Srila Prabhu.
Yes, the Lord leaving is not to make the Devatas fear, but for fun. Then he immediately catches him. So it's a roller coaster for Devatas, what's happening. Sometimes he leaves, sometimes he catches, like that. Yes, text 28, please. Anybody wants to volunteer? Maybe we can skip the verses as the time is only 10 minutes. We have some verses to cover. Yes, please. Anybody who didn't read yet can read. Subara Prabhuji, Nirupama Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
You want to read the translation, Prabhuji?
Sure, Prabhu. The 8th shloka.
28, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Making a loud, shrill sound of laughter, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, who is extremely strong and powerful, captured Hiranyakasipu, who was protecting himself with his sword and shield, leaving no gaps open. With the speed of a hawk, Hiranyakasipu moved sometimes in the sky and sometimes on the earth. His eyes closed because of fear of Narasimhadeva's laughter. Hare Krishna.
You want to say a few words or anything, Prabhuji?
So I guess you have a contrasting person next to Prahlad, next to that's Hiranyakasipu, Prahlad Maharaj, who doesn't have similar feelings, basically. It's totally opposite of the feelings of a devotee versus somebody who is here to destroy the Lord himself, basically, right? Not understanding the Lord and trying to overcome or trying to be superior to the Lord can result into these kind of feelings, basically, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. That's a very nice angle to look at it, Prabhuji. We were looking at Hiranyakashipu's side, but you opened up what Prahlad is thinking in the same hall. Nice, Prabhuji. Yes. And for a devotee, probably there was never a change.
Those are the two contrasting feelings. I mean, so the devotee never fears in any kind of situation because he's under the shelter. Right? In the laugh of Narasimhadev, or even that cannot be fearful at all. It only looks, the devotee looks at it as only as a glory or as a miracle or as an bhuti of Lord rather than a punishing power standing in front, basically.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, who wants to read next? 29. Swapna Mataji, Madhavi Mataji, Lavanya Mataji is there. Jyotsna Mataji, Murlidhar Prabhuji, Shalu Mataji, Geeta Mataji. You want to give it a try?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam. I'm offline. I'll be on mute, Prabhuji, for some reason. Please, sorry.
Sure, Mataji, no problem. Yes. Then the floor is open for everyone. Please read again. Until where are we reading? Then I will read.
Prabhu. I will read,
Yes,
Prabhu. It's okay.
yes, Prabhu, please go ahead.
Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. As a snake
We are reading
captures
until
a...
35. Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead.
This one only, na?
Yes, Prabhu.
As a snake captures a mouse or Garuda captures a very venomous snake, Lord Narasimhadev captured Hiranyakashipu, who could not be pierced even by the thunderbolt of King Indra. As Hiranyakashipu moved his limbs here, there, as Hiranyakashipu moved his limbs here and there, and all around, very much afflicted at being captured, Lord Narasimhadeva placed the demon on his lap, started a surgery process starting, supporting him with his thighs. And in the doorway of the assembly hall, the Lord very easily tore the demon to pieces with the nails of his hand. Lord Narsingadev Bhagavan ki Jai.
Die.
Purport: Hiranyakashipu had received from Lord Brahma the benediction that he would not die on the land or in the sky. Therefore, to keep the promise of Lord Brahma intact, Narasimhadeva placed Hiranyakashipu's body on his lap, which was neither land nor sky. Hiranyakashipu had received the benediction that he would not die either during the day or at night. Therefore, to keep this promise of Brahma, the Lord killed Hiranyakashipu in the evening, dusk time, which is the end of day and the beginning of night, but is neither day nor night.
Hmm.
Hiranyakashipu had taken a benediction from Lord Brahma that he would not die from any weapon or be killed by any person, dead or alive. Therefore, just to keep the word of Lord Brahma, Lord Narasimhadeva pierced Hiranyakashipu's body with his nails, which were not weapons and were neither living nor dead. Indeed, the nails can be called dead, but at the same time, they can be said to be alive. To keep intact all the Lord Brahma's benedictions, Lord Narasimhadeva paradoxically but very easily killed the great demon Hiranyakashipu. Haribol.
Never knew this thing, Prabhuji. The nails are not considered either living nor dead. Haribol. Yes, nice, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhupada only taking our hand and teaching all this.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Aradhika Mataji, Shobha Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Shobha Mata, you want to read what is visible on the screen?
You can go ahead.
No,
Should I?
Prabhuji, not able. 1 minute, Prabhuji. Yes. 1 second. Lord, that's one, Prabhuji, Lord.
Yes, ma'am.
Lord Narasimhadeva mouth and means were sprinkled 1 minute, sprinkled with the drops of blood, and his fiery eyes full of energy
Full of anger.
were impossible to look at, licking the edge of his mouth with his tongue. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narasimhadev, decorated with a garland of intense, intense, intestines taken from Hiranyakashipu abdomen, resembled a lion that has just killed an elephant. Purport: the hair on Lord Narasimhadev face, being sprinkled with the drops of blood, was reddish and looked very beautiful. Lord Narasimhadev pierced Hiranyakashipu abdomen with his nails, pulled out the demon's intestines, and wore them as a garland, which enhanced his beauty. Thus the Lord became very fearsome, like a lion engaged in fighting an elephant. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, going back to Subbarao Prabhuji's comments, how the situation would be to both the parties, the demons and the devatas, it looks very, very fierce situation. Such a strong personality, Hiranyakashipu was tore apart and his intestines were. It's not even seen in the movies, right? Usually, but the situation looks like very fierce there. And we see this beautiful picture of Lord having intestines. And yes, that's a Lord for a devotee. That's the Lord for us.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, just wanted to share one just analogy.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Like I think many of us know, like how Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu are seeing on from their perspective. Let's say, for example, in a court, judge is giving a verdict on a judgment day for a criminal. How a criminal sees the judge when he is walking inside the court and is about to sit, the criminal who has very done very lot of criminal activities. But on the same court, let's say the grandson came and he wanted to give a surprise to the judge. He's coming from a village or somewhere, and he wanted to see the judge. His grandfather is there, sitting in the judge. So the the grandson will be so happy to see the judge coming and sitting there, and he wanted to give a surprise. Oh, Tataya, like that. And then this criminal who is in the court, he's trembling. What judgment he's going to give? He's going to give me like a life sentence or a death sentence or something. So just wanted to show how Prahlad is watching Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyakashipu is watching.
Yes, Prabhuji. That's a
Nrsimhadev.
common phenomena also happens in all the movies, right? People are very happy when the villain is killed or sent to jail, something like that.
Yeah.
So when the demon is, punished, and that's a good thing for good people. Nice, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Shall I continue reading, or is somebody there to?
Let's ask Aradhika Vimala Mataji if she is in a position to read, or else you take, Prabhuji. Aradhika Mataji, are you in a position to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Amma.
Prabhuji, I need to read the translation.
Yes, Mataji. Translation purport, if you want to.
Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who had many, many arms, first uprooted Hiranyakasipu's heart and then threw him aside and turned toward the demon's soldiers. These soldiers had come in thousands to fight with him with raised weapons and were very faithful followers of Hiranyakasipu. But Lord Narasimhadeva killed all of them merely with the ends of his nails. Purport. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Since the creation of the material world, there have been two kinds of men, the Devas and the Asuras. The Devas are always faithful to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whereas the Asuras are always atheists who defy the supremacy of the Lord. At the present moment, throughout the entire world, the atheists are extremely numerous. They are trying to prove that there is no God and that everything takes place due to combinations and permutations of material elements. Thus, the material world is becoming more and more godless, and consequently, everything is in a disturbed condition. If this continues, the Supreme Personality of Godhead will certainly take action, as he did in the case of Hiranyakashipu. Within a second, Hiranyakashipu and his followers were destroyed. And similarly, if this godless civilization continues, it will be destroyed in a second, simply by the movement of one finger of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The demons should therefore be careful and curtail their godless civilization. They should take advantage of the Krishna consciousness movement and become faithful to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, they are doomed. As Hiranyakasipu was killed in a second, the godless civilization can be destroyed at any moment. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for reading. Can you relate to the current society? Current day and time, how it is going? The atheists are becoming extremely numerous. They are trying to prove that there is no God. Everything takes place due to combinations and permutations of material elements. Thus, the material world is becoming more and more godless. And consequently, everything is in a disturbed condition. Is the situation going on? But there is hope. If this continues, who comes? Hare Krishna. We will certainly take action. That is our hope. Thank you so much, Vimala Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Satyaja Prabhuji.
Shall I read the next verse,
Yes,
Prabhuji?
yes, Prabhuji. Please take it.
Yeah. Translation. The hair on Narasimhadev's head shook shook the cloud and scattered them here and there. His glaring eyes stole the effulgence of the luminaries of the sky, and his breathing agitated the seas and oceans. Because of his roaring, all the elephants in the world began to cry in fear. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. You want to read purport also, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Shloka, you want to read, Prabhuji? Bhagavad Gita?
Purport of the translation.
Yeah,
You read.
yeah, Prabhuji. purport and Tadyad vibhutimat sarvam Srimad Urjitam eva va Tadad eva Gacha tvam mama tejom sambhavam. Know that all beautiful glories are mighty creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. The illumination of the planet and stars in the sky is but a partial manifestation of the Lord's effulgence. There are many wonderful qualities of different living entities, but whatever extraordinary things exist are but a part of the Lord's tejas, His illumination or brilliance. The deep waves of the seas and oceans and the many other wonders within the creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead all become insignificant when the Lord, in His special feature, incarnates with His material in this material world. Everything is insignificant in comparison to His personal, all defeating transcendental qualities.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. The aftermath of killing Hiranyakashipu is
Yeah.
being. Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. Text 33. Anyone?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Correct.
Please.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Airplanes were thrown into the outer space and upper planetary systems by the hair on Narasimhadev's head. Because of the pressure of the Lord's lotus feet, the earth appeared to slip from its position, and the hills and mountains sprang up due to his intolerable force. Because of the Lord's bodily effulgence, both sky and all directions diminished in their natural illumination. Purport. That there were aeroplanes flying in the sky long ago can be understood in this verse. Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken 5,000 years ago, and the statements of this verse prove that the symptoms of a very advanced civilization that then existed, even in the upper planetary systems as well as in the lower planetary systems. Modern scientists and philosophers foolishly explain that there was no civilization prior to 3,000 years ago, but the statement of this verse nullifies such whimsical judgments. The Vedic civilization existed millions and millions of years ago. It existed since the creation of this universe, and it included arrangements all over the universe with all the modern amenities and even more.
We think the iPad is the latest creation, right? Then how did Sanjaya show the live streaming of Kurukshetra war to Dhritarashtra, right? So everything was there, but not required. We all saw what happened when the knowledge of Brahmastra was given to Ashwatthama, you know. So it's not that the airplanes were not there, but probably were not required. Yes, thank you.
Prabhu, can I add a point on the previous verse?
Please, please.
Like one beautiful point I heard from very long back, like when Narasimhadev uproots the heart of Hiranyakashipu, like he was examining the whole heart, searching if there is any place there where Narasimhadev is present in the heart, so that he can forgive him if he's there somewhere.
So did he find or not?
He didn't find that side.
That's why all the havoc.
Yeah, like about how merciful Narasimhadev is. Like I heard one lecture, like he's
Are you coming to Sunday feast today, Mataji? Hare Krishna, Mataji. Vendala Mata, are you coming to Sunday feast today?
No, Prabhu, sorry, I'm not well. So
yeah, if you are coming, come with a surgery knife and see if there is Narasimhadev in my heart. You also don't find.
First, he's not there in my heart.
Him and put it back. Hare Krishna. Yes, Narasimhadeva has taken just birth today. Even if he was not there so far, he should be there, and we lock him in from today, Mataji. Yes. 34, anyone please? Time is running out. Let us.
I'll try to be quick.
Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Testing a full effulgence and a fearsome contentance, the Lord Narasimha being very angry and finding no contestant to face his power and opulence, then sat down in the assembly hall on the excellent throne of the king. Because of fear and obedience, no one could come forward to serve the Lord directly. Lord sat on the throne of Hiranyakashipu. There was no one to protest. No enemy came forward on behalf of Hiranyakashipu to fight with the Lord. This means that his supremacy was immediately accepted by the demons. Another point is that Hiranyakashipu treated the Lord as his bitterest enemy. He was the Lord's faithful servant in Vaikuntha, and therefore Lord has no hesitation in sitting on the throne of Hiranyakashipu. He had so laboriously created. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Tagore remarks in this connection that sometimes with great care and attention, great saintly persons and rishis offer the Lord valuable seats dedicated with Vedic mantras and tantras. But still, the Lord does not sit upon those thrones. Hiranyakashipu, however, had formerly been Jaya, the doorkeeper of Vaikuntha, fallen because of the curse of the Brahmanas, and had gotten the nature of a demon. And although he had never offered anything to the Lord as Hiranyakashipu, the Lord is so affectionate to his devotee and servant that he nonetheless took pleasure in sitting on the throne that Hiranyakashipu has created. In this regard, it is to be understood that devotee is fortune in any condition of his life. Hare Krishna.
Wow. The final statement is a punch line, Prabhuji. The devotee is fortunate in any condition of his life.
Whether he's alive or dead, basically. Right. But whatever he's offering, Lord is accepting. In this case, Lord only saw the throne as being offered by Jaya rather than Hiranyakashipu.
Yes. I don't know if I remember correctly, Prabhuji, but just before Hiranyakashipu was dying, who gets an opportunity to die in the lap of the Lord, Prabhuji? Though he was living such a hellish life, but it is said that he was looking at the Lord's eyes. Then in the final moment, it was like, oh my Lord, at last you are finishing this Leela. Like that.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. The last one. There is no purport to this one. You want to take this one also, Subara Prabhuji?
Who had been exactly like a fever of meningitis in the head of the three worlds. Thus, when the wives of the demigods in the heavenly planet saw that the great demon had been killed by the personal hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, their faces blossomed in great joy. The wives of the demigods again and again showered flowers from the heaven apart, Lord Narasimhadev like rain. Hare Krishna.
Haribol started in such a way that the Lord Narasimhadev appeared from the pillar today and ending in such a way. The devatas and devotees, their faces are blossoming with great joy. Amazing, na Prabhuji? I'm sorry, we ran like 10-15 minutes late. There is 1 to 3 hours more we can spend just discussing the glories and become happy. But I think we have other tasks to take forward. So with that faces becoming great joy, let us close the session. Anybody has 1-2 minutes, any question or comment or correction? We can spend 1-2 minutes and close, please.
One of the things that I came across when I was first reading this, Prabhu, not today, but when I was first reading this. So the benediction is what Hiranyakashipu had, basically. Right? The benedictions is what has made him more vigorous, I guess, basically, that the death will not come to his doorstep. But the thing to take from is it doesn't matter what the benediction you have, but death is imminent. But at the same time, people take comfort from the benediction and they forget God. So that happens even today with each and every one of us. We have benedictions in terms of medicines, basically. If you have a BP person, you have a BP tablet so that you don't die by BP. If you have a heart patient, you have a cholesterol tablet so that you don't die by cholesterol. If you're a diabetic, you have a benediction that you don't tablet in insulin, that you don't die by.
We suppress the disease.
I mean, basically, you're not going to die by diabetes, basically, right? That's the benediction, really. So we all have such benedictions, and so we all take comfort from not dying by that reason, but death is still imminent. So once you have a benediction, you have to understand that now you have some little control over death, which means you have to surrender to Lord. Even is an opportunity to surrender to Lord even more, rather than thinking that you are not going to die, basically. So if we do not make use of the benedictions, then you are even further wasting the opportunity of life, basically. And life itself is rare, and benediction is even rarer, basically. So we take it granted, and we take it very natural that I'm falling sick, so I can take a tablet, I'm fine, basically. But every tablet it should actually ensure or double ensure your dedication, your surrender to Lord. Thank Him and surrender, basically. That's the difference between people having benediction and not surrendering to Lord and devotee, basically, right? That's the difference you should find between Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu. Otherwise, we are all in the same boat as Hiranyakashipu. It's all die.
So the best thing is, Prabhuji, use all the benedictions and use it in the service of the Lord.
Exactly. We have to be more thankful.
Yes.
Nice that the benediction is actually adding life, and that means you have to be more thankful, more surrendered. It's an opportunity to be more surrendered. So anyway, that's what first when I was reading this first time 3-4 years ago, that's what came to my mind.
Amazing conclusion, Prabhuji. Very nice. Yes. Whatever is available, good situation, bad situation, everything we can, offer at the feet of the Lord and just continue. Go on. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Valuable words. Yes. Thank you so much for giving your association. That gives me confidence in spiritual life, or else alone it's very tough to proceed. Thank you so much at your lotus feet once again. Thank you so much for Srila Prabhupada, who is the sole reason to unite all of us. Thank you, dear Prabhuji, so much. We read Vancha Kalpa and then close the class. Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much, dear Prabhuji and Mataji. Hare Krishna. Have a very lovely Sunday feast. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so
Please
much.
also read in there Vamanadev Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat. Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Subramanian.
Pardon me, Prabhuji, I had very bad voice. Couldn't get the mercy to read today's Bhagavatam. So sorry, Prabhuji.
No problem, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Closing the call here, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.